Hi people, this is Mule. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're in good health and blessed. This is something that happened. God started speaking to us on 29th of March of 2024, and it was around this Easter period because I think Easter was that week or the next week. I can't remember which. So around this time, from the beginning of March, something happened to us, and it just messed everything, the peace that we had been having, that God had kept us in. Our finances were cut off because God has been maintaining us in this place I call Malili, and he has been keeping us in lodges and hotels. He has refused us from taking any rooms, any permanent rooms, as in like to rent a room to pay per month, which is cheaper than going through lodges and stuff. And but it's specific places he has been guiding us to. When one place is over, he told us, "I'll make sure that you're evicted. I'll make sure that somehow you're chased away. People reject you from there, and that's how you will know wherever. I mean, the time is up." So everywhere we have been going, even the people that have blessed us with accommodation, somehow we just find ourselves just evicted. In the beginning, it was so shocking, because it's not in the beginning, the first place we were, God is the one who told us he's going to make sure we are evicted, but we didn't know. We had no idea. But he cut off somehow finances and we were not able to pay. So that time we were evicted. We thought it was just finances. The next place we went, we were evicted not because of finances, just like that. Somebody decides they don't want our face there, and we are paying. We have not had. In fact, we had already left that place, so we were simply just going to use their facilities like toilet, or as we are just walking outside or ministering to people. Just for a few days we were there. I was transcribing my notes. They had a nice sitting area, and just like that, the owner apparently on CCTV just saw us in those few days, and and he just decided, "You guys are out of here. I don't want to see you here in my premises." So, in shock, we just left. And of course, we had said we were going to go there because I really liked the hotel. I really liked the rooms. It was so clean. And that means now we couldn't go there again, even if we wanted to. And then people who have given us accommodation, all of a sudden, after a few maybe weeks, or we have been with them, meeting with them, or something, all of a sudden somebody just turns against you and just tells you out, 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 and they stand there and give you like 2 days, or I mean, sorry, 2 minutes or 10 minutes to pack. Eh, it's so funny because you've been with them for so long. They have trusted you with their house or whatever, and then all of a sudden they think, that's what I assume, they think you'll steal from them when you're leaving or something. I don't know. And this is somebody we call a friend, we that was connected to us by God suddenly, and they told us, God is telling me to help you, to accommodate you, to do, that's how God has been doing it. So all of a sudden, people are just turning against us, and then after we leave, we don't know what next. And then God tells us, go there, go and ask for accommodation there. And somehow, even if we didn't have money when we were evicted, somehow there was some money for us to go, even if it's for one day, even if it's one day at a time. You just go, have money, and you get a room, and it's just weird. That's how he told us. Once the time period is over that I want you to stay wherever I've taken you to stay, I will make sure you're evicted. That's how you will live. You cannot live until you're evicted. And sure enough, let me relate the first incident, the first place we were chased away. After we were chased away from our rooms, and were leaving, God, excuse me, God told me, stay at the car park, do not leave. So I thought, because he had kept telling us we are being picked, so I thought we were being picked from there. And he doesn't tell us who's picking us from there. So we stayed there for hours, and then the owner was sending a manager and all, because we our finances had he had completely cut our finances off for almost, I don't know, we had not paid accommodation for, is it 2 weeks? They had just been patient with us, and then one day he told us, you guys are not going to pay this accommodation. And we're like, okay, so what are we supposed to tell these people? And we're still living in that place. So he is telling us, I'm judging this place, you're not going to pay whatever you owe them, and however you're going to live is how I'm going to do it. So at one end, you're hearing God saying this, and then on the other end, the management is there asking you for finances. They were patient for 2 weeks. We were just telling them, we are going to pay, because that's the wisdom God gave us. You're going to pay when you're being picked up. So whoever is coming to pick you up will give you the finance to pay them. So whatever little we were getting, we're just using it for food, because it was quite little. And so that day when we were evicted from the room, and he told us, do not leave the car park, we waited there for a few hours, and the management, the owner, sent somebody to come and tell us, get out of my car park. And then we're like, okay, you want us to get out of your car park? We'll get. But we told you we have no cash. We're waiting for somebody to bring the cash. That's what we believed. And then this person, this manager, after a few minutes, he sends the same managers and supervisors. Like, no, you guys are supposed to pay the money before. So several times he did this. A few times he's telling, get out. And then the next time he's like, no, before you leave, you give. So we asked, can we leave our phone, what do you call them, phones, gadgets, so that at least you're assured that we will pay whenever we get. We'll pay and come back for them. And they were refusing. No, we don't want any of our gadgets. So at some point, at some point, my brother, I don't know where he had gone. He had left me there with our luggage and everything. And he's the one who had volunteered to give his phone. And his phone was more expensive than mine. So it was able at least to pay like maybe 20K or something. So these guys were like, okay, now we are accepting the phone. So I'm like, okay, wait for my brother. He's the one who volunteered. I don't know where he's gone. And sure enough, I didn't even know where my brother had walked to. He just walked off. He was tired. And because we had been there for hours and God was not telling us anything else. So I was left there, and after a while, they told me, okay, what you do, we don't want you to, we just want you out. The owner has said he doesn't want to see you near his compound, even passing there in front of the car park. And don't forget, the grounds in front of his car park is public land. So I have no idea what he meant. It's like he doesn't even want you to pass here, to cross somewhere, in front of his apartment, his hotel. He wants it out. And I'm telling you, what I'll tell you is the people that we were talking with while we were there, for the 1.5 months that we were there, God led us to speak to, that He told us our remnants and all that stuff. That particular day after we left, 4 of them were sacked because they were associated with us. I mean, it was such a shocking thing you're hearing, because this one we had, I think the next day, one of the girls is the one who told us, guys, we were sacked, 4 of us. And another one was sacked, I think, after a few days. And why they were sacked is that We had told them what God was telling us. Death is coming, worldwide death, and judgment is here. So one of them had been asked, what were you discussing with these people? Who are they? Why haven't they paid rent? All those things. So one person just decided to reveal everything. Not that we were hiding. She spoke everything, and what she was emphasizing was, they said people are going to die. She said people are. So we're like, okay, this is what now we are being told by this girl. People, she said people are going to die. So the management, they got so worked up, and they got so scared of you people, because they started saying you're Illuminati, you're going to kill everybody, you're going to kill these honors, you're going to kill the whole everybody in that environment. That's what brought you there. So apparently that was spread, and people started fearing us in the market. And the management told these people, whoever was remaining now after the others were sacked, anyone who is seen, even talk near these people, even if you're passing near them in the market, wherever, if you're seen by somebody and you're reported that you are near them, even if you're going to the market to buy something and they're standing next to you or you're standing next to them, even if you're not talking, you will be sacked. Do you know, several times we could see some of these people that we knew. I mean, you could see them, and they see us and they take off running. So I'm sharing this because this all these incidences are just, I think they're just bunching up, because we have been betrayed so many times by so many people. People God has given us to talk to tell them about this coming revival, everything about everything that we know that God is giving us, even anything about them, who they are, whether they are remnants, whatever they'll be in the future, whatever God tells us to give them, to tell them. Some people turn around. We've been probably with somebody for maybe 1 or 2 years and having a very good relationship, and then all of a sudden they turn back, they turn around, and all of a sudden they just become your enemy with no reason. So we have seen these betrayals time and time again. So I began to tell you about how we were in need. We were cut off from our finances, and it was done by family, because we had left. God had told us to leave our home, to leave everything, and but he had kept us one source of income, and he told us to leave our inheritance. So it was just one source of income that we could that he could maintain us with since 2022. So it was cut off all of a sudden on 20 on in March, beginning of March. So after that, it became so hard. I'm telling you this because this is what some things got touched on this message. Because I am telling you, we slept outside for 1 day, and then we get money, we get accommodation. We another time for 3 different days we slept outside. We are looking for an abandoned buildings or something like. So the first day, actually, we had to sleep. I had to sleep on a bench, a wooden bench. My brother looked for a kiosk just next to where I was. He looked for a kiosk that had no roofing. He was just getting out of the traffic that was there. There was no traffic, but it was after midnight. So, but he was just getting out of any eye that could see. So me, I just said I don't care. So I covered myself with a blanket a friend had given us, and it was raining. It was such a trial. It was raining. I sat on a kiosk bench, and I stayed there the whole night. The next night, we slept in an abandoned building. They had no roofing, also. Thank God it was not raining. The third night, I think we had an abandoned building, but oh, the whole place was just thinking of urine and feces. People had done their numbers there. but at least on the side we could see. We didn't want to stay outside because we knew it might rain. So we just decided, let's just, it's soil, but we put cardboards on the floor, and we slept. We had only, I think we only had one blanket, and at least we had some jackets, so we were able to. Whoever has a blanket, you sleep for a few hours, half the night, and then we change. The other one takes a jacket, the heavy jacket, and the other one gets to sleep. That's how we managed. And then in April, I think I'm not sure whether it's the right timing, or is it in March or still, because it's a bit for a few months away. Um, there's a time it reached that we slept outside for 5 consecutive days, even after sleeping those 1 days. So in total, I can't even remember how many days we slept outside, but and there are days also we were hungry. We slept hungry for 2 days. The third, at least the third day, we get something. Somehow, somebody comes and somebody I've just met. They are like, I just let me bless you, and it's not at a big amount of money, like 20 shillings or 30. I think the most we have gotten is like 50 shillings or 100 bob. Just somebody who we had blessed, somebody who we had ministered to. In fact, she wanted to abort, and she was led to us, and God ministered to her that she's carrying a prophet, and she never aborted. And so one day she's finding us just seated somewhere, and we were so hungry for I think 2 days. She's like, "You guys, I've been looking for you. I just wanted to tell you thank you, and all that stuff." And and then she's like, "This is all I have. Here, take." So I'm refusing because we have been. God has taken us out of this thing of people giving people who pray for them or something money, uh, but this day God told us, do not refuse it. So she was insisting, and me, I was refusing, and she was like, no, 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 take this. So I think it was 50 bob or 100 bob, I can't remember. And I just, okay, she just forced it on my hand, and she left hurrying so that I don't give it back to her. And I just, and then one time another young man who God has given me as a son will be, especially as a son to me, will be legally a son to me in the future, in this revival. Um, he has blessed me with 20 bob, with 30 bob, with buying milk for me, and he doesn't know I am hungry. He doesn't know I've not eaten for a few days. He just appears out of nowhere and tells me, I told God, like you told me to be asking God for us to meet if I need you. So I have seen you. Now let's sit down. Things like that. And it's been very interesting. So that's how God has been helping us, directing us. So the day he came and ministered to us, I think we were very down. We were very down and were asking ourselves, because he's not telling us we are going to sleep hungry, we're going to sleep outside. It just happens. And he doesn't tell us anything. He doesn't, after a few days, he doesn't tell us anything. So the whole month, it's been like that, upheavals of March. It's just been like that. So he came and he touched on us, the things that we had to go through, and he told us this. He told us, "You guys are partaking, or as Jesus' siblings, you're partaking of his of the rejection that he went through. You're partaking of his sufferings. You're sharing with him. That's what I allowed you guys to go through. You're sharing. When people betray, you're also sharing in the betrayals of Jesus. So there's nothing unusual with what you're going through. It's just that you didn't know why you are going through it. And I think I don't know if it's well, we'll know. I've not read it, as I'm going to reread it again to you, but there's a time he said that these betrayals and sufferings are over. You will not sleep hungry again. You will not sleep outside again. That period, that season is over. And and let me tell you something he said also. He told us that this that you are doing, that your family has forced you, especially one particular family member has forced this on you, to sleep hungry and to sleep outside, will happen to them 100 times. And he told us to tell all the remnants, whatever has happened to you as a cause from one person or two people, or from a family, or from even an organization, maybe even your job, they have refused to pay you, things like that. These things that they do, it's like they sow. They are sowing. What they sow, they will reap 100 times. And it will be very hard on anyone who has caused remnants who has betrayed remnants, who has caused remnants to go through so much. So much will happen 100 times. What you did to these people will happen to you. And please don't take this as a curse, because there's somebody who told me I'm cursing them. No, I am simply telling you what God has said, even what the Bible says, because the Bible says you cannot mock God. Whatever you sow, you shall reap. So what is cursing about? It's not me who is cursing you. It's a word that you're going against. It's a word of God that has spoken against you, against people who are doing all these things. So this will happen to so many people, and it will shock them. Because I am going to reveal this to you. The family member that did this to us, God has told us before, and not just once, not twice. The judgment of causing us to sleep outside, they will be homeless. They will be home. We don't know how long. But we don't know when this will happen and for how long it will happen to them. But God told us they will, wow, they will reap 100 times what they did to you. So if you're a remnant and stuff has happened to you, it's not you who will do this. No, it's the hand of God. It's not you who is cursing them. No, it's the hand of God. It's not this mouth that is talking to you that is cursing people. It has no curse. I am simply speaking what God has said will happen to people. It will happen to people. Whatever you reap, whatever you sow is what you reap. Whatever you sow is what you reap, and you will reap it 100 times. You will reap it 100 times. So I'm sorry I've taken so long to talk about this, but I just wanted you to know the back story of this message. And God spoke to us around 9:30 in the evening, and actually it was Jesus that was speaking to us. And this message, I titled it Rejection, the Path of Crucifixion. So Jesus started speaking and says, I'm sympathizing with you three. We were also on another call with that other ministry friend of ours when he started speaking. I'm sympathizing with you three, all of you, but you have to go through rejection. I am sympathizing with you, but you have to go through rejection. You have to feel what I felt from people that I was working with, from people that I was friends with, people who are close to me, for the rejection has not reached its fullness. It's through this path of crucifixion that everything is made full, that everything is made whole. You're partakers as Jesus' siblings, as my siblings. You're partakers of this cross, and you have to feel it. You have to feel the rejection. You have to feel the betrayal. You have to feel it, especially from close people, people that you have been talking with, that you have been impacting, people that you have talked with and have rejected you by their action. Their lips are yes, yes, and amen, but their actions are rejection, total rejection. You have to understand that this is a time of rejection. These are times of betrayal. That's why I have been quiet. You have to go, you had to go through it. You have to go through it. You have to be rejected. You have to be betrayed by the force of your finances. You have to be betrayed by friends, by anything you thought could not reject you. You had to be rejected by everything you thought could bail you out. I will leave only those who I know are for you. Excuse me. I will leave only those who I know are for you. And he mentioned one of friends we met just recently who has really been a blessing to us. She even paid for us a whole month's lodging um, bill when we couldn't, that whole month of March, when we couldn't pay. In fact, it was a bill for February, it wasn't for March because we had to live where we were in, in March, beginning of March, when the finances cut off. So a whole month we were in a cheap lodging at that time. In fact, it was a Mabati lodging that God had led us there, and we stayed there for about 8 months, I think. So the last month is when we were coming to pay that month, the month that was ending, is when our finances were cut off. So it was around 8,000, and she was the caretaker, and she told us, "You guys, I'm going to sort you out from my salary, no problem." Um, and then after she did, she sorted us out. Although we had to leave because she told us, "You guys, because you have no finances, and this is not my place. I'm working. Um, I'm working here. Um, but I'll sort you out. But you have to look for alternative places." Do you know she was given how, what could I say? She was given an extra income by God. She was given another job, and what she paid for us, she was refunded by God through that job. And so now she ended up having two sources of income that were paying her even more than what she was receiving there where we were. Wow. So she called us like after we left. She called us about a week or so later. She was like, "You guys don't know, understand what happened after I paid for you guys. God has given me another job." And I was wondering where to get uh, finances for my daughter. Though she has a daughter that is in university and another one that is in, I think, Form 2. So she was like wondering where to get finance. So God has sorted out. So let me continue on. There is nothing wrong. Let me just start off somewhere. So this lady and a few other people God mentioned in this message had been with us. They had provided. In fact, somebody could just send 100 bob or something, and we could have something to eat. Um, so he was saying on or about them. There's nothing wrong with them, even if they keep quiet. Some of them were quiet because the path I have taken them through, they sympathize with you, they cry with you. But there are some questionable doubts here and there with others. So he was telling us that he's given us this lady that I've explained to you about, and some other daughters or children to be with us. So continue. So be at peace and just hold on. If things don't work out, don't run. Then don't run left or right. Do you know you're going through what I went through before I was crucified? Do you think anybody gave me food to eat? Where do you think I slept? Where you're sleeping right now is luxury. I made you experience it. I made you go through the last 3 days, but now you understand what I went through. But now you understand what I went through. So he's talking about the first 3 days I explained about when there were not consecutive days, just one day, I think, in each week we were sleeping outside. So that's what he was talking about. He was saying that that's luxury, where we were sleeping outside. Yours was even luxury. Even sleeping outside, the place you slept was luxury compared to where I slept. Compared to where I slept, it cannot compare. Compared to the fact that you're not in pain. The only pain you're having is hunger. I want you to feel with me something. I want you to experience this with me, to feel it with me in a big way. So when things don't work out, don't worry. You can't die of hunger. You can't die of hunger. Father's hand is on you. Nothing can happen to you outside. Nothing can happen to you outside. Actually, we had been wondering about insecurity because you don't know who is outside loitering out there. And when you are asleep, you don't know. We are wondering even the few clothes that we have, few possessions we have, will we find when we wake up somebody has snatched them? So this is just a reassurance. So he was saying nothing can happen to you outside. The day I don't want you at this lady's place, definitely you will know. The day I don't want you at her place, definitely you will know. Because we were wondering how long she will help us. Because what I didn't explain to you is even after she helped us, even after we had to leave this lodging, she kept giving us water to bathe if we've slept outside. Wherever we go and we can't, we have not slept because sometimes we could stay up at night, the whole night, because we, we, we just decide, okay, let's be on the phone the whole night. And then she gives us accommodation for during the day. She'll give us somewhere to sleep. And she'll tell us, you guys, even if it's not the place we are staying, she'll just look for another room that is not being used. She'll tell us, you guys sleep here, just the bed. And then we would sleep. So she did so much. And so we were wondering how long this would continue. And so this is what this is what God was referring to. The day I don't want you at her place, definitely you will know. So just be at peace. Angels are still surprised and astounded at you because you have trusted God. Even when things don't make sense, they are with you wherever you are. They are around you, surrounding you, and are the ones keeping you warm. Otherwise, how do you think you can survive till morning? You think it's a warm clothes you have. It could be worse than what you've gone through. So yours is like a cruise ship experience compared to what I went through. But I thank you for experiencing it with me. I thank you that you have experienced it in the way you have, in a small way, in the short bit compared to what I went through. But I thank you, my brethren. The hand of God is still with you. It's always been on you. So be at peace. So this lady, other lady who was on the phone with us, our military, ministry partner, she was being talked to. She was told when things don't work out, don't be frustrated for nothing, because it's not you. I have to show you that none of you is in control. So she's a financier, kingdom financier, and God had told her to begin her work in a small way by providing for us in however God was telling her to provide for us when we don't have. So she was used by God for that. So that's why she was being told not to be frustrated when finances don't come when she wants, or they don't come the way she was thinking they will come. So I continue. I have to show you that none of you is in control. I have to show you the betrayal of your friends. You're going to experience the betrayal. So she was being told you're going to experience your own betrayal. It will shock you where it's coming from. You're going to experience it these few days. You're going to be shocked by where it's coming from, the people you don't expect. So later on, she told us some betrayal that she went through. I think it was her mom. Something happened, and things were spoken, and it really shocked her from the mouth that it came from. So it could be, that's when you were saying, it could be your mom, your siblings, one of your friends that you have been holding dear. So just be at peace and know that it's God. You have to feel it. It can't be just these two. It can't be just these two. You have to feel it too. So that's what God was saying. She's also one of them that will share in this betrayal and this experience to be familiar with the thingies of Jesus, the pains and the things that Jesus went through in her own way. Do you know this lack of finances is also a betrayal? Yes. The finances are betraying you. They are betraying you. You have done all you can, all you were told, but they are betraying you. The work that you've put in it, it's all betraying you. So, betrayal is from all corners. And then here, Abba Father took over. Yeshua had finished talking, and Abba Father took over to speak. This is your Father, my children, and I have not forgotten you. Do you know that? If I allowed my son to go through what he went through, you think the birth of this new move is what he did? It's more than what he did, because you have to actually birth it. You have to birth it. You have to help with the birthing of it to the point of the betrayals. You can't be pioneers of this thing. You can't be forerunners without going through it. You have to go through it. You have to go through whatever was assigned to you. But this time, it's not one person going through it. You're so many who are pioneers, and all of you are going to experience something. And some of them, I will not talk to them the way I've talked to you. They won't even understand what is going on. So just be at peace and know that you're privileged. You're a privileged lot. Because now you have a small idea of what's happening. Don't worry, don't worry. Sleeping outside is nothing. So he also talked to our friend. You don't know what it is to sleep outside in the streets like this too. But you'll go through something that will make you understand the journey of Christ to the cross, the journey of your brother to the cross, because all of you are Melchizedek. So he was shouting, all of you are Melchizedek. Do you understand that? All of you are Melchizedek. In the order of Melchizedek is not all fun and games. The leaders that you are, before that position is acquired, will feel something. Will feel the pain. You'll feel the loneliness. You will feel it. Alison, you will feel it. You will feel it. So this thing of Melchizedek, God had revealed to us before that it's the order of Melchizedek, and he calls us Melchizedeks, not just in the order of Melchizedek. He's calling us Melchizedeks, and he's saying some of us, especially some forerunners, will even walk with the leader, the Melchizedek himself, because he, at some point, he revealed to us is one of the 24 elders in heaven that the book of Revelation talks about. One of the 24 elders that come and lay down their crowns before God. So that's why in the Bible he appeared from nowhere, and he had no beginning, and we don't know who he was, his ending and his beginning. So God had revealed to us that this is the Melchizedek, and a lot of forerunners will walk with this man, even as we are walking with other people whose mantles we have in the Bible. We are going to walk with this man, and we're going to know his story, and he's going to help us. Walking with him means we are going to encounter him, we are going to see him face to face, and he's going to teach us some things of his walk, because he was a priest without beginning and without end. just like Jesus took that order of Melchizedek. I think it's explained in the book of Hebrews, I think. Um, so that's what I can explain to you. Go and check any YouTube videos. People are talking about the order of Melchizedek and the new move. You can check Nancy Cohen. Nancy Cohen is one of them. I think Justin Abraham. Who else? I can't right now. I can't think who else you can check. But just check. Maybe you will get. There's somebody called, I can't remember her first, Liz Wright. Is it Liz Wright? Somebody like that. They are talking about the order of Melchizedek and what God means about Melchizedek's and the revival, the new move, and the remnants. So you can check that out. Let me continue with what Father was saying. The leaders that you are, before that position is acquired, will feel something, will feel the pain. You will feel the loneliness. You will feel it. You will feel it. You will feel it. The only thing you're not supposed to do is betray God. Don't betray your God. Just obey and trust in Him, waiting on His peace. I am not going to tell you what comes. I am not going to tell you how tomorrow will be. No, but just receive it the way it is. I know where you are. I know what's happening with you, and nothing takes me by surprise. I planned everything. You think my son's journey was a surprise to me? No. I planned it, I planned it, I planned it. Even when he was crying out, asking why I had rejected him, I planned all that. It had to happen, it had to happen. Remember, you're surrounded by betrayers. You're surrounded by betrayers all around you. People you think are your friends. Your family that can never betray you. They will betray you and you'll be left blinking because you won't know where it came from. In their action, because their mouths will speak contrary to what their deeds are. I told you too. And then he named some two people. I told you these two have betrayed you in a big way. He told my brother and I. They are not good people. Wow. They are not good people. These are the betrayers, but you're going to lift them up. They're going to cry when the revival happens, and when they realize we missed this chance to walk with these people. We have missed this chance to help the servants of God. We've missed this chance because we wanted to be comfortable. To each their own. If you desire comfort, you will die in your comfort. You will cry in your comfort. You will know. You will be known. No, you will, sorry, I'm so sorry. You will cry in your comfort. You will mourn in your comfort. I have written these things and my handwriting sometimes just blows me away. So you will mourn in your comfort. So I continue. Now he's talking to our friend. You barely set up the avenue for wealth transfer. He was talking to her about that because she's a financier. It's not you who is doing it. This being done, it's being done by angels for you. I was simply showing you a small thing. That is just a lesson, a small lesson that you won't even need. You won't even need it. The wealth of wisdom I'm pouring on you into this new move. You will have learned this lesson. Yeah, that's how you will give God the glory, because it won't be what you have learned. It will be what I am going to do for you, how I am going to lift you up. Because Jesus would not, would Jesus have resurrected himself? It took the power of the Holy Spirit. Yes, he gave his life up, but it was partnering with the Holy Spirit for resurrection. So, the same way with you, whatever I want you to do to occupy yourself, no problem. I will take you through a few things. But those are not the keys. Those are just a few things to sustain you, and some things will not manifest now. Stop worrying. They will not manifest now until I want it. Betrayal is coming. Betrayal is here. So he finished like that, and then Holy Spirit takes over, and he speaks and says, "This is Holy Spirit. I've filled you with so much love. I have filled you with so much joy. I have filled you with so much peace. If you didn't have any of those, you would be in panic mode right now. I can tell you that. I am the one who is filling you with so much. I am the one who is ministering to you every time. I am using angels. I'm pouring on you my power, my strength, my joy. Joy doesn't just mean laughter, bubbling with joy. Your mind needs joy, because when you have joy, your mind is not overwhelmed by too much thoughts. You reach a point where you settle and sleep, and you are at peace and you get dreams. Somebody who has no joy of the Lord, at times they don't even sleep. They have no dreams, good dreams to sleep. For the joy of the Lord manifests in so many different ways. I have poured it on you in so many ways. I have poured it on you in so many ways. You know, at some point, you will have to command your troops. So he's talking to our friend because he's already told us, my brother and I, to command our troops when we needed finances. He just told us, command the people that have given you over time, um, because you have been a blessing to some of them over time, so that they can pour on you. In fact, the words he said is, command your troops to pour on you what they can, as I have blessed them, because it's now time for you to receive. That's what he told us. And so now she was being told the same. Do you know, at some point you will have to command your troops, your financiers. You have to command them regardless of their response. You will have to command them to send to you. Don't feel anything. Command your troops, especially those who know you're a financier, that you are the head financier, or those I have revealed as financiers to you. Command your troops. And here he was referring to the fact that God told us she will be the head financier of the Lord's kingdom. So, as a forerunner, she's highly placed in the financier bit and finances department. So I continue. You don't need to explain who you are, why you're commanding them. Command them to pour out. Command them to pour out whether they respond or not. Those are some of the betrayals that you will get. Those are some of the betrayals that you will get, because some people love money too much, and yet that money is about to be swallowed up right now. It will be such a wasted money when you wake up in the morning and find there's nothing in the accounts. Command them. This should be your act of obedience. The ones I have told you are financiers, or the ones you have suspected are financiers. Command them, command them, command them. However they respond, they'll tell you, it will tell you whether they are cutting themselves off or they will remain faithful to you, even though they don't understand. Command them to pour into your account whatever they have, whatever they can. Yes, don't answer my questions. Why? Just say, the Lord is asking to pour into my account whatever you have. Again, don't answer any questions. Why do you think so? Just obey. Tell them God is asking for you to pour into my account whatever you have. Leave the rest to me. I'm the one who will deal with everybody. So, this is when now he was telling all of us again, the same as you. Right now, if no one is hearing, I am not talking to anybody. Right now, if no one is hearing, I am not talking to anybody. If they choose not to and cut themselves off, that's the choice they make. Tell your people whether you think of them or not, the ones you have been talking to, the ones you have been helping. I will shock you. I will shock you the way some of them have will respond to you. And he gave us an example of one of my brother's daughters. One daughter, future daughter, who she's above 20, who just blessed us out of nowhere. I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, but she told us she couldn't sleep that night, and the Lord just told her it was the last money she had. I think it was only 200 bob. And here, when I'm talking about money, it's not a lot of money, but that 200 shillings, I think we didn't have supper that day. So she's the one who sent us money for supper from nowhere. And she told us this is the only money I had. And I didn't know when I would get more money because she was working and she was not getting paid well. Sometimes she was going without pay for days, or because they were being paid, I think, per day or per week. I can't remember. So she sent us that money, 200 shillings. And so this is the example God was saying, I will shock you the way your daughter did last year, even when, even this week, the other one that shocked you, you never expected that. So there are two daughters of my brother, that the one for last year who sent us that money, and this one of this year. In fact, they are called the same name. And they're both called the same name. And my brother asked for her to send something, anything that she had. And I can't remember what she said. I think it was a K or something. And a K is 1,000 bob, those who don't know. And I was like, what? Where? How come she sent us that much money? And so the Lord was saying he will shock us through such people, because it's something, the people that you expect to send are not the ones who will send, but God will use somebody else to bless you. So that's when he turned to me and he told me, Mule, and he gave me a particular name. And he said, she's the only one you're left with. Command your troops. If she fails you, you'll know she has failed you another time. She has failed God a second, third time. Know that she has failed when she doesn't respond, but that's not your business. That's not your business. You're ordering your troops. Tell them to obey. If they choose not to obey, then they are not listening to their God. But if they obey, pour into those two. Now he was talking to the ministry partner. Let me call her name A, so that it's easy. It's easy to know. This conversation keeps changing from one person to the other. But if they obey A, pour into these two. They need it more than any other. Forget about those others I told you to bless. They need it more than any other. So as a financier, she had been told she would be brought people so that she can help them. But now God was telling her, put a break on helping other people, because at this time these two need it. So right now, the forerunners need it. Forerunners need it more than any other. Do you understand? Right now, the forerunners need it more than any other. Where you get, don't finish for yourself, because you will need it very, very soon. So he was talking about A. Your betrayal will come from very close to you. Every one of you, you do your part, and if nothing comes from it, that means you know who is for you and who is not. Remember, Jesus was crucified alone. He didn't go with anyone at that cross. Nobody was for him. Even John, his friend, didn't say anything. He didn't say anything in his defense. He just watched. His mother, the women, they were just watching and crying. Nobody spoke up in his defense because everybody was in shock. So whoever responds positively, you know that that's a good friend. Whoever responds by keeping quiet or will never do anything about it, at least you know who you're dealing with. Be at peace, be at peace, all of you, be at peace, be at peace. And there he ended. And so you see, all the Godheads, all the Godhead spoke each their turn and encouragement to us. And I hope you'll be encouraged. I know this has been a long recording, but I was told not to skip, especially the earlier explanations about our life. I was told not to skip it, but to speak it, because it will help somebody. So be blessed and be at peace until we meet again in the next recording. Thank you so much.